edited this film together, and I'm really sorry about the quality. I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video, so ahead of time, I am really sorry about the quality of filming. But when you've got Heidi back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I was trying to find ways of filming without her getting in front of the camera, and it got a little bit wobbly in places. So yeah, I mean, if you want to hear the story, then bear with it, and I'll try and find a solution to filming around the cats in future.
Hello, you have me and only me in my what Kath calls prisoner cell block H outfit. I like it. It's comfy. Where is Kath? It's like, where's Wally? Not that she's a Wally anyway. She's gone out. She's doing jobs. She's getting some shopping in. She's taking some parcels to the post office. We're seeing her parents tomorrow. She's having the car valeted. I did not have the energy for all of that. This for me is still weigh-in day and I've had a very early start. Hence I'm still in the same clothes. This week we are thinking of putting videos out every other day purely because it's Easter. Somebody is coming up the road on their motorbike, so sorry about the noise. Yeah, it's Easter and we have family that we're going to see on 2 of the days. And although we will film a what we eat in 2 days, and hopefully a haul of a sort, maybe a car boot if the rain holds off, I can't guarantee all that much because of the weather. So a lot of what we like to do is outdoors. So allotment, car boot, metal detecting, the weather might put play to all of that this weekend. So I thought I'd film this one because a while ago I did put out a who would like to see this, and the general consensus was most people, and if you're not into this kind of thing you don't need to watch it. But it's about when Abby and I went to see Sally Morgan. Now we've seen her twice since that first time when I asked who wants to see this. Abby was totally enthralled by the whole experience and bless her, she booked tickets for us to see her again the following month. And the second time was in Exeter and Abby drove, and it was all very lovely of her to do that. However, I have seen Sally Morgan a couple of times prior to this, and the first time was years ago. I could be wrong. I may well be corrected by family members here. Well over a decade ago. Catherine, in fact, I think Abby was about 3, maybe. She's 20 next month. No more teens. Kath and I went to Pontins. They had like a spiritualist fair, they had healing, they had Reiki crystals, card readers, you name it, everybody was there, and Sally Morgan was like the star show of the evening, and we went to watch Sally Morgan. And Kath managed to sit through that. This was before her anxiety kind of about theatres overtook. So she managed to sit through that show, and although we never had anything that was for us, we were really impressed with her accuracy with other people. A lot of people will say it's for entertainment only. Some people will say that people are planted in the audience, but we still very much enjoyed the show. Cup of tea. Abby's chipped cup. When we came out of that show at Pontins, a lady pulled me to one side and she said, "I've got your grandparents with me." And I was like, no, because my granddad's very much fine and up in Newcastle where he lives, and yeah, maybe you've got someone else. And then she said to me, "You had a border collie when you were small." And yes, I did, and that's very specific, isn't it? Border collie. I had a border collie called Lady. Absolutely adored that dog. She was my playmate when I was toddling around. She'd round me up like a sheepdog does. Random toddler things, like I'd put stones in my mouth. Don't know why. The dog would alert my mother. All these things. She was just lovely. Anyway, she passed away. And she says, "Yeah, I've got the border collie with you and I've got your grandparents with me." Now my Oma had passed over already, my Dutch grandma. As far as I was concerned, Grandad was fine. She goes, "Your Grandad's got a message for you." And I was like, okay, kind of only half, a little bit flawed by the border collie comment, but only half really believing this. She goes, "Your Grandad says that he's sorry he wasn't there for you more. It was a distance thing. Grandad's in Newcastle, we're in Devon." but that he loves you very much, and he would have been there for you more if he could have. So I thanked her very much. Had I known, I'd have wanted her to talk to me more. And I went back to the chalet with Kath, and my mother phoned, and she goes, you need to sit down. So I sat on the sofa, and I was like, what's wrong? Because Mum would only call me if there was an emergency at this point. And she said, your granddad's passed away. I think he'd passed away the day before, but we weren't notified till the day after. And I was like, this was my first experience of grieving, was losing my granddad. Absolutely heartbroken. He was the male role model all through my growing up. If I wanted to do anything, like when I did my first degree and I wanted to leave and change degrees, it was Grandad that I called. And are you okay with this? Yeah, I needed his okay before I felt I could make those moves. And I looked up to him a lot. He was amazing, and I'll always remember his big hands. But on that night when I found out he died, I was absolutely broken, and then I could not find that lady again. I wanted her to talk to me more. The next day we went around the fair. I was looking for this lady, couldn't find her. Did get some free Reiki given what happened, and it was very quick. Hello, Heidi. It was very sudden. He was driving right up to the very end. He was doing his Sudoku puzzles, reading the Daily Mail, all that, right to the very end. So that's a blessing, that is very quick. Another blessing that did help me was that I had this lady that had come up to me and said what she'd said. It did take quite a while to process this information and how to live without somebody who had meant so much to me. But that was my first experience of a Sally Morgan show, and it wasn't even Sally Morgan who'd spoken to me. But I enjoyed the show. Fast forward a few years later, Kath and I have been together for 18 years, it'll be 19 years this year, and we'd lost a friend. Sally Morgan was in our area just after we'd lost our friend. Heidi, hi. You love the camera. Yes, you do. Sally Morgan was in the area, and I went to see Sally Morgan then. No messages. Cats and cameras. Let me pull you a bit closer so she can't get in front of the camera. Yes. There were no messages then either. And I was really upset by that because I really, really wanted to hear something about my friend at that point. And then there was this occasion where I thought, well, Abby probably will enjoy all of this, and I'll take Abby when she's old enough. And then this was the first occasion this year where Sally had been in the area, and I booked the tickets. I said to Abby, do you want to come? She said, yeah. I was going to go anyway. And in between the last time I've seen Sally Morgan and the time after my friend had died, I've lost a family member, a brother, my dad, and quite a few other family members. There was a run of years of losses. So I thought, okay, well, if it's going to happen, it'll happen this time, won't it? Because there's plenty of them out there, and strong characters too. Maybe they'll get their message across. I have to keep moving the camera because of the cat. Hello. So I was doing the dishes that night, and I was talking to my brother in my head, like you do when you've lost somebody. And I said, if you're going to come through, because he's very shy, he wouldn't have wanted to be centre of attention in any capacity at any time. I said, just let me know you're there. Just let me know you're there. So yeah, it was more my brother that I wanted to come through. Anyway, we're sat in the audience and Abby's with me, and these people behind me are talking, and they're like, oh, Sally Morgan can be quite direct. She can be quite blunt. She'll say rude things like, and they said a word that I'm not going to say now, but it's a word that my brother used to use. It's not very common. And Abby nudged me. She went, did you hear that? Uncle Mark used to say that. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, brilliant, And then Sally Morgan came on, and she'd done a show. And what caught Abby's attention is somebody's gone missing in our area. Their family was in the audience. And yes, okay, it's been in the media, but Sally Morgan was saying things that have not been out there in the media. And that's when Abby was absolutely floored. Hello. So that caught her attention. Anyway, first half went by, nothing. We went outside, second half went by. And Sally Morgan said that she got somebody with her, a male who liked football. and she's getting a date, very specific date, August the 3rd. And she kept saying August the 3rd, it's so specific. And Abby's nudging me going, stand up, stand up, stand up. And I'm like, really don't want to stand up in front of all these people. But I did. I put my hand up and I stood up, and I was asked, what's the significance of August the 3rd? August the 3rd, the family member that passed away, who I've been asked not to name, so I won't, his birthday was August the 3rd. My brother died on August the 3rd, 2019. My dad died on August the 3rd, 2020. So August the 3rd linked the three of them in one way or another. You couldn't make this up. So I told her that, and she was pretty happy. I guess that might have unlocked some more talking on her part. And she said about the football, when my dad used to love football. In fact, he had many, many heart attacks, I think 13 maybe in the end. I mean, for the last few years of his life, he only had one chamber of his heart was completely dead. I don't know how he survived as long as he did. But he loved football, and his first heart attack was when Bournemouth won a football game. So, yeah, he was really into football. And then she said, well, the family member, I'm just going to keep saying that. She said, he's showing me a blue sofa. That's where he died, was a blue sofa, and he fell onto it and he died there. Yes, this family member died on a blue sofa, his blue sofa. It was a diabetic coma. She picked up that he was there for a while. It was 2 weeks before anybody found him. And it was just all very specific. It was purely a message of love, she said, and support. Yeah, I did say to Dad in my head before I went, if you're going to come along, because we didn't have the best relationship. We tried. As kids, we tried, you know, but sometimes you just can't force things, can you? But I did say to him in my head, if you're going to come along, bring my brother. Because I really wanted to talk to my brother. And my brother had, oh, that's the other thing that, she goes, who's Kathy? And I was like, my first thought is my Kath. So I was saying, well, that's my partner. And Abby's like nudging me in the ribs because my brother's wife is Kathy. So my brother was calling out Kathy's name, and it's all love. It's all with love. And then my dad was also married to a Kathy. So you've got August the 3rd, you've got Kathy, which is me, Dad and Mark. We've got our own Kaths. You've got the blue sofa. You've got having been there for a while. I think she mentioned other names that were linked to Abby. They have now gone out of my head, but they are written down somewhere. Names that we don't know, that we're trying to research. I was absolutely blown away. Just so blown away by that. So that's 2 Sally Morgan shows, and in one way or another, I've been told things that you can't make up. So at that point then I started thinking, okay, these people in the audience aren't planted. And the second time we went, Abby really wanted the family friend to come through. We didn't get that. We didn't get anything. But she's still blown away, and she still wants to go and watch more and more Sally Morgan shows. And do you know, if this helps Abby to deal with the loss that she had when we lost our family friend, and she's really, really struggled with that for many, many years, and the circumstances in which it happened, then if going to see Sally Morgan gives her hope and helps her and keeps her going, then I'll go with her to every single show. I will. I did nearly knock my tea over there. So there we have it. That's what happened. I was absolutely floored at the time. I didn't actually know the other family member's birthday was August the 3rd till I relayed all of this to my mum. Or maybe I did know and had forgotten. I've got a really bad memory. And I think I got a little bit emotional when I heard that, purely because, you know, that's 3 of them with August the 3rd. Who'd have thought? And I miss my brother. Really, really miss my brother. We sailed that same boat when it comes to Dad, I suppose, and he's the only other person that was out there that got it. And part of me just thinks, God, if only he'd survived one more year, we could have gone through that loss of Dad together. But, you know, he's gone now. But he's not, clearly. I don't know if you believe in any of this stuff. I know that this video is going to be quite disjointed because the cat is right here trying to push my tea over because I'm not giving her the attention she wants. Now, I do believe in all this stuff, and Kath and I we've both had a lot of experiences from being very, very small children, right through the 18, nearly 19 years of our relationship together, separately. It's just something that happens. And Kath has asked me to ask you, would you like to know more about other experiences that we've had? Because she'd be more than happy to sit and talk if that's something that you guys are interested in. I think when you can verify these things, because sometimes we question ourselves as well, but I think when you get verification, especially things that just can't be made up or researched, then to me then it rings true, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to leave you to mull that over because this video is now nearly 20 minutes long. I'm going to give Heidi the attention that she is obviously craving, and I'm going to see if I can edit this into something coherent. Have you ever seen any shows like Sally Morgan? I can't think of any of the others. Is there Derek Acora? Was that one of them? Was he found to be a fake? It's hard to know, isn't it? It's so hard to know. Have you been to see mediums? Are you a medium? My dad used to do clairvoyance. I can't remember the name of it, but where you hold an object that used to belong to somebody, and he used to be able to give readings from that. And he also used to do animal healing. I say that as Heidi's purring here like a tractor. And my mum's pretty gifted herself as well, so I suppose it's in the family. And Catherine has Italian roots, and that, therefore, it's in her family. Right, I've spoken enough. I have no idea what this sounds like. I'm going to go. Heidi, do you want to come and say goodbye? And I absolutely believe in the healing power of cats. Yes, I do. Got fur on my face. Right, many thanks for watching this very short telling story of what happened at the Sally Morgan show. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one. I'm just sitting on the stairs watching that back, as you do. God, that was a tricky film, purely because the cat kept getting in the way, but she's gone off now. Yeah, I think the one thing that went through my mind when I was watching it back was August the 3rd. For quite a few years, I didn't leave the house on August the 3rd because I thought, like, it's a bit like a cartoon in your head. I thought a piano was going to fall on my head, or one of those great big ton blocks or something like you get in the Looney Tunes cartoons. I think it's only really been in the last year or two that I've gone out on August the 3rd. It's hard. It's really hard. Grief is so difficult to work through. I think Grandad was, as I said, my first major heartbreak. And then I'd lost people, yes, and it was very difficult, and I miss them a lot. But of all of the people I've lost after Grandad, I think the hardest hitting for me was my brother. Because, like I said, we sailed that same boat. He got me, I got him. I was actually due to go and see him the week after. I'd booked annual leave from work, and it was just a week too late, wasn't it? But there's always going to be what ifs. What if I said this? What if I did that? What if I'd booked the annual leave earlier? What ifs with everybody, really. So it's difficult. It's a difficult subject, but I find messages, any messages, like the lady outside Pontins or Sally Morgan, when Abby and I went to see her, it brings that hope and that comfort and helps ease that pain, I think. And even though Kath and I have our own experiences in this sense, to get some sort of validation from somebody else, information and validation, it's really helpful. I find it is anyway. You might think it's all rubbish and I'm talking a load of nonsense, and that's fine. I know what I've seen, I know what I've heard, I know what I've been told, and I'm going to go with that. Right, air fryer's on. I'm going to go and see to that.
And yeah, the fabulous task of trying to edit out Heidi's rear end often. See you next time.